So these halters are really good. Want to hang on to that? Okay.
Sure.
One of the good things about them is they're easy to clean. Other good thing is they don't break. So when he got this off Cabassi. Hello, love. Yeah, Cabassi, he was showing cattle, and he had one of these for show, broken show animals.
Yeah, righto.
So you want to just get that around their ears. You're right,
I
love.
thought it was just a stock bit of gear.
And just keep tension on that until she settles down, and then you gotta just sneak in there without getting hurt. It's the hard part. That thing's
Have you
getting
ever?
metal, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Have you ever had it fling off? And
We had a cocky bite through his tongue.
oof.
Oops, that's on the wrong side.
Have you done eyes? You guys have done eyes?
Yeah, a few. Not many, but a few. It's a cool surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen one that's like mostly in the lower eyelid though. Normally it's like the eyeball itself.
Yeah.
So there's a loop on the bottom. You don't want to stick your finger through it, because if it throws its head around, it'll take your fingy off. Just kind of feed it. I know. We're here to help you, lovey.
How do you know if it's in the bone or not?
You can normally feel it, and then also you feel for the lymph nodes back here. See, there's no lymph node involvement there. If there's lymph node involvement there, then you're in trouble. Did I give you that ace?
Mhm.
So we're pretty good. The jugular always pretty handily. The jugular always comes out from here. So it's laying right there, but watch this. When you do this, it'll fill. And sometimes on a hairy cow, it's easy, hard to see, but watch this when I let go. Ready? See it go away?
Yeah.
If you got a big cow, you can stick your elbow against your leg and press into it.
Yeah.
I just do the karate. Same way when I'm bleeding rams.
Do
You can also strum it, and you can feel it bouncing under your thumb. Stick your thumb on there, just like real lightly. Just hold it lightly.
Oh.
Feel that fluid wave?
Uh-huh.
You're in the right spot.
Do you always give ACE for these surgeries, or is it more
Usually,
because she's
but she needs it because she's a nut job.
Yeah.
Sorry, love. All right, so what am I going to do next?
So next you want to prep the area.
Okay, so what should I prep first with? Because we want to
first
give
you
it time to work.
put some claw hex on it because that needs time to sit and
I go straight to lignocaine. That way the lignocaine has time to infuse and stuff.
yeah.
That was a good guess. So I use 60 ml syringe, pop. These are, as I've shown you before, my bottles that I've done epidurals with before. So I've got all my leftover bottles.
Uh-huh.
And the holes, I've already kind of done the stopper, so. See, it fills it nice and quick. And needles. Gotta go grab, oh, there you go.
What dose of ACE did you use?
I just gave her 2 mils, so usually
Okay.
about 1.5 mils.
Okay.
So if you come over here, you know when you see a cow skull and it's got that little hole? What do
Uh-huh.
they call it? The mental foramen, I think? Is that what they call it?
Is that the
Or is that down there? What's the one up here?
Is it
Feel it right? Hold that with your
supraorbital?
thumb?
Supraorbital frame?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's called. Good memory. So I'm gonna put some lignocaine there. You're all right, love. And what's the one that does the eye and the ear?
That is the subpalpebral.
Auriculopalpebral?
Auriculopalpebral.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And it lies over the zygomatic arch. There's the zygomatic
Uh-huh.
arch right there.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go here.
And that will block
Oh,
the
you're right, love.
lower eyelid.
Yeah. Give her a big blob there.
Mhm.
Then I'm going to try to get behind this eye, what they call a 4-point.
Yeah.
You can walk off the back of the, the ramus and drop it in back behind and all that stuff. What I do is push the eye out of the way.
Mhm.
You're right, love. Get in right behind it.
Mhm.
Use a fair bit of lignocaine in there.
Is that
Now I'm
about?
going to push this eye up, come in below it, get in behind it, push some lignocaine in there.
And sort of 10 to 15 mils per side.
Yeah, give or take. Some.
Some
I'm
of it
not too prescriptive on it
a
all.
bit more than others.
Yeah, just plenty. Now I'm going to come in behind it. See that eye's starting to relax and kind of poke out?
Mhm.
Now I'm going to numb out that eyelid itself.
Mhm.
A little bit left in that one. And you're in no hurry because you want to let this lignocaine kind of settle in.
Yeah. It's about 10 minutes for its sort of effects to kick in, or?
I just go until I'm ready to start cutting
Yeah.
because they don't really like being in the crush anyway, so I
Yeah,
just try to
as fast
expedite
as you
everything, but
can.
try to do it in an order that's going to benefit the animal the most.
Yeah.
I'm going to use this whole bottle, so I've got a dirty needle, but it's all going to go into her anyway. So what I do with every new needle bottle is I just stab it a few times up the guts. And what that'll do is it'll allow us to hook straight on with the syringe, which is a real game changer for especially heavier products. Get it 60 mil there. Right. Now we're going to do this eye. So you want to come right over here, Brother James? So I'm going to start back in the corner. I'm going to come in like yay. And I'm going to go nice and deep, so the needle's all the way up here. I'm going to infuse, but I'm going to pull out as I'm going. So the next time I go in, see that bleb there? I'm poking in through that same bleb. Oops. Poking through there. Oops. I had a surgeon tell us in vet school, you never say whoops. You always say there, there.
Do you ever find you need to top up with the lignocaine?
We won't be here very long. So again, like if you just pull back, the bottle's going to collapse. So if you take a bit of air into your syringe, you know there's about 40 mils left in there, so just makes it easy to pull up. Super simple, easy little tricks. Because with eye cancer, like with all cancer, clear margins is key, right?
Mm.
So we're going to take everything out of here.
You diffuse it so it's blebby all around.
Yeah. The face is so vascular, it heals really well. Lignocaine normally it slows wound healing, so when you're doing cesareans and stuff, you do an inverted L.
Uh-huh.
All right, now we can clip, and then once we clip, we can start scrubbing.
What's going on with the eyeball there?
What's that?
What's going on with the eyeball?
That's all the conjunctiva full of lignocaine.
Oh, okay.
And the conjunctival sac, which remember that one we took out the third eyelid in a minute
Yep.
ago? That's what I infused the penicillin and the steroid into. Yeah, so it keeps it, so you got local.
Mm-hmm.
These clippers are good. We used to always use the laser, but we really like these Heinegers. The key with using these when you're out in large animal is when you're done, you got to make sure you clean them up, and then get some WD-40 onto them quickly. Otherwise, the blades rust really quickly. So make sure you look after your clippers. Otherwise, you'll get somewhere and you won't have any clippers, and you'll be angry at yourself. You're right, love. That ace is kicking in.
Yeah.
When I'm lancing abscess and stuff on bulls, people go, why didn't you give it ACE? Why didn't you sedate it? Well, he's going in with a bunch of bulls. You sedate a bull and put him out with other bulls. What's going to happen to him?
He'll get
He's going to get his
gone.
ass kicked, yeah.
Mm.
So you try to help him and end up making it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Xylazine or anything else?
Xylozine's an analog for oxytocin. At least they taught us that in vet school. Look, does it matter? I don't know, but I don't want to cause constriction of the uterus on a pregnant animal.
Okay.
I don't know if it would cause abortion or not, but I tend to
Okay.
avoid xylazine in pregnant
But
females.
ACE is fairly safe. in
ACE is
pregnant
safe as
animals.
houses, yeah.
Okay.
Xylazine also, they groan and grunt and they lay down
Yeah.
a bit.
Uh-huh.
Nice thing about xylazine is that you can,
Reverse it.
yeah. But ACE is super safe.
How much lignocaine is too much lignocaine?
What's the species that it's a big worry in?
In goats.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, you can kill a goat with too much lignocaine because it causes
Oh, is it something to do with the heart?
AV block,
Mm.
I believe, if I can remember it. Whenever I'm cleaning something, I reach into my bucket and flick it out of the bucket rather than reaching into my bucket. I normally run 2 buckets, but we've only got 1. And so I've got my dirty bucket and my kind of dirty bucket and my super clean bucket. So I'll rinse things off in the... I'll hit that with WD-40 in a minute. Would you mind spraying that with a bit of WD-40 and turn it on? All right. So I got some Clorox and Metho. Bloop. I used to use 4x4 gauzes a lot on these, but man, I have done a lot of cancer eyes. And
It's easy just to flood it all.
I just do a good job scrubbing it, and because you've clipped it, these never get infected. His face is just so insanely vascular. So that's the stuff we're going to try to get rid of. This chlorhexidine scrub. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Like cancer in a tub. This is the very set of yards that I did my first eye cancer in Australia in, and it took me about an hour, didn't it? Belly.
Went away and had a cup of tea while he was still.
Like, we'll see you in the morning there, young veterinary. Wasn't quite that bad, but it was pretty slow, wasn't it?
Oh, you've come a long way.
That's very true.
We've showed a few people now.
Yeah, we did a newspaper article on it. On
Cancer eye cattle.
yeah,
Oh,
they used to be just because there were so many Herefords in the district.
Yeah.
Because the UV here is extreme, because there's a hole in the ozone down there in the southern hemisphere. They don't talk about CFCs much anymore. Mind give me a squirt of that, gorgeous?
Mhm.
Thank you. These are really fun procedures because you're really helping an animal out and it's quick. And how quick till they're pretty happy, you reckon, Billy? About 10 days or so?
10 days. For them to not even, they don't even really know about it the next day. Day after maybe.
Scalpel handle.
Leave stitches in too long. Inhibits the healing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Pull the stitches out yourself.
Yeah. I reckon it inhibits the healing anyway.
yeah, definitely.
Do you just do a 1-layer closure?
Yep.
Or 2? Uh-huh.
Simple, continuous.
Mm.
You'll see in a minute.
Mm.
I'd see this bull work in a minute too.
Oh, that'd be great if we did. So I normally put those in my pocket, but I don't have a pocket in these pants. So I'll just drop it in there. Be careful of your scalpel blade in your bucket.
Oh yeah.
Cool beans. All right, and then I'll be using some of this suture later. The cassette broke last time I used it, but if you can reel me out some suture when I need it.
Sure.
And these are these S-curve needles. They're just bomb diggity for doing large animal surgery because you can push them by hand. If you can't get a hold of some, get a hold of me. I was importing them out of the U.S.
Awesome.
I'll set that in there. All right, so what you want to do is you want to connect the dots. You want it to be elliptical. There's a bit of stuff here, so we're going to go pretty wide. So I'm going to come back to here to a point. I'm going to come up here to a point. Then once I've connected my dots, then I'm going to dissect down the bottom bit first, because if you do the top, all the blood will cloud what you need to be seeing. Just start in there. Turn your knife vertical, scalpel vertical. Their skin's like leather, which we often forget when we're surgicating on stuff. So be bold when you cut into them. There's going to be some pretty big bleeders in this. I'm going to try to cut down underneath that cancer that's along that bony bit of her eyelid. You're right, love. I'm kind of scraping that right along that orbit so that this doesn't come back, hopefully.
Do you have a
Cancer's pretty crunchy. Ever what, sorry?
Do you have a blunt dissect these or just
Nope.
scalpel?
Scalpel. You want it all out of there anyway.
Yeah, it's much quicker.
It's still like you want to apply tension to it. Watch, don't get sprayed there, brother. You want to apply tension to it so that everything comes with it. So I'm just kind of, probably want to keep your fingers, see how I got my fingers peeled away from me so I can still count to 10 later on.
And how do you know when you've gone deep enough?
I'll have a feel in a minute.
Well, that was fast.
So then you have a feel, and cancer feels crunchy. Crunchy cancer. So that all feels nice and soft. It was in this area here, was where she was. So I get pretty good margins there. I'm just gonna do a little bit of scraping. So this will kind of slow us down a little bit, but like a normal cancer that's right on the eye, we'd be into stitching it by now. All right, can I get a bit of that suture, gorgeous?
But yeah.
You kind of got to be cautious with it because it's a bit messed up.
Yeah.
You got to kind of spin the. That's the way.
It's all tangled.
Like a very good fishing person.
Yeah.
Like a great design.
It's just got a
See if you can drop that in underneath that.
Oh yeah.
There you go. That should come a bit easier. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the way.
Yep, another bit.
Slowing it down.
I know. Sorry.
Oh, it's this cassette. What it is because I drive on gravel roads, it bounces around inside the cassette. Just through there. I do a couple loops through the eyelet.
That's a wicked needle.
Can you
How
hang on
many
that for a second?
times can you reuse those
Heaps.
needles?
Yep, I just keep reusing them till they get dull. And then I start ahead of the incision so that my knot is not sitting actually much over the actual wound itself. Can I borrow those again? I just throw a surgeon's initially, 2 loops. Can I give you those back? And it's just a matter of whip stitch, so it's about a little bit less than a centimeter by centimeter squares. Get that out of there. And this is your hemostasis. want to keep it nice and snug. That orbit's going to fill up with blood,
Yeah.
and then over the next couple of days it'll just all resorb. Get out of there.
So we'll just make like a big clot in there.
But hopefully you got enough suture.
Don't need to hold that out the way.
Thanks, bud. It's a real thrusting kind of a pop with this stuff, with these needles. You try not to stick it into your hand if you can help it. I've done it a couple times. And you go, son of a biscuit eater. And these little bits, just make sure they're in there. Kind of like when you're doing a cesarean. Make sure you get all the. Can you grab those needle drivers and just snip that off? Do you remember what those needle drivers are called? What that breed is called? This particular breed of needle driver? Trivia question for quiz
No,
night.
I have no
Olsen
idea.
Hagers.
What was it?
Olsen Hager. So
Olsen
what's cool about them is they got their needle drivers, but they got a. So on the last one I do a reverse throw. So I've got a tail to tie to, and it's not on an angle. It's across the. Just when you do your loop, just like grab it, pull it through, but then loosen your jaws so that you can make sure it's square. And then when you're done, make sure you cut that loop, otherwise it'll hook on something.
Oh yeah.
That'd be bad. Ta-da! Oh, it took a while to get the suture, I guess. Then I'm just going to put some fly on this and I'll show you what I do with the penicillin. So I've infused penicillin right into that space. And I put a little bit subcutaneous above it and subcutaneous below it. I try to get all this kind of blood off so that so the flies don't bother so much. You're all right, lovey. We're fixing you up. Collingwood supporter. All right, so I'll grab a bit of penicillin. I got my big lignocaine syringe. Penicillin was over here. Wanna hit her with some of that? Just go
Directly
crazy
on?
with it. You bet. Let's do a little bit under here. Bloop. A little bit down here.
You're just aiming under the skin?
Yep, just go subcutaneous. There's no real muscle to put it into, and I just put a little bit straight into the. And they heal like nobody's business. High fives. It's
Awesome.
nice. It's nice.
Do you
Cool.
find that, do they need any anti-inflammatories or anything like
Oh
that?
yeah, so give her some Loxcam too.
Ah, yeah, sweet.
Would you mind grabbing that actually? So it's on that side. Pull the drawer open. Loxcam. For her to be probably 16 mil.
16.
Coolio. We should show her walking out. That'd be kind of cool. And that's.
Maybe go find one of the ones that healed up. Show the
Yeah. They look pretty groovy when they heal up. If I'd have done probably 20 for belly over the years.
You're nearly up there, boy. Most of them good. Yeah, well, yeah, blowout one. Sort of help me out, can't you?
Yeah, sometimes we push it uphill and just give it a crack. Good, good?
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, look what I had there, brother. Damn it.
Is 16 pounds.
Oh, and a newberry nut.
Onion nut and nutter are slice it.
Here, on the skin, do you want? Yeah, those newberry knives are awesome, eh? For opening up the scrot.
Yeah.
That's why Super Katie. Yee-hoo. Happy days.
Awesome.
High five squad. What do you want here, brother?
In here.
Okay.
Anywhere we're out the road.
Around the outside, around the outside.
Now have to.
This crush about had it too, hey?
Yeah.
There you go, love you, Bean. Cool beans.
She's a feisty girl.